Okay, fifth graders, today we're talking about equivalent fractions. We are working on it in class today. This is just a different way of looking at the equivalent fractions. We're saying 1/4 plus 1/4. If we added those together, if we had that picture like we were talking about today with our strip, and we cut it into fourths. If I have 1/4 and I have another fourth, I have 2/4, and 2/4 is the same as half. So think of this as an equal sign. On this side, I can draw myself a picture if I want to, break it into thirds like our denominator, and I'm going to shade in 1/3, and I'm going to shade in another third, and if I wanted to figure out what that would equal, I would say that's the same as 2/3, or I might say 4/6 or something like that if I wanted to break it up even more. But I'm going to leave it with 2/3 today. This one, I've got 2/6 and I have another 2/6. If I add these two top ones together, I get 4, but they're still split into 6 equal pieces, so I get 4/6. I can leave it like that, or if I want to, I can reduce it. Just like we sometimes will multiply by 2/2, I can also use that same property, that identity property, and divide by 2/2, and then I would get 2/3 if I wanted to do it that way. But 4/6 is an okay answer as well. This one, on this side, we're going to think of this as equals again, and I've got 1/9 plus another 2/9, so if I broke it up into 9 equal pieces, see if I can do that easily, I don't know. And I had another one there, and we'll break this up into 9 equal pieces, and I've got 1/9, and now I've got another 2/9. So now if I add those together, I get 3/9. Or some of you have probably noticed you can just add the numerators and keep the denominator the same. This one, if I've got 2/8 and I want it to equal 1/2, we talked about all the ways to make half, and we did talk about how 4/8 is the same as half. So 2 plus what will equal 4? Well, 2/8 plus 2/8 will equal 4/8, and 4/8 is the same as half. This one, it's 6ths, and over on this side we've got 12ths. So we're going to think of this, I'm going to change this into, I'm going to multiply it by something that will have 12 as a denominator, so I can at least have a common denominator, and I'm going to multiply it by 2/2. 6 times 2 is 12, 2 times 1 is 2, so 2/12 is what I'm looking for to make sure that this side is equal. If I've got 1/12, I need another 1/12 on this side to make it even, 2/12. And we know that 2/12 is the same as 1/6. Alright, 2/3, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to change this to something over 6, kind of like your homework last week as well. And we're going to do 3 times 2 and 2 times 2. 3 times 2 will be 6. 2 times 2 is 4. The reason I came up with that 2/2 is because I wanted to have that same denominator. So I picked 6 on purpose because I wanted to have that same denominator. And I know 3 times 2 will get me to 6. So if I do it to the bottom number, I have to do the same number to the top to keep with that identity property. Alright, so here we are. We want this to be our equals. 4/6 equals 1/6 plus another 3/6, and then that would work. 4/7, 6/7, at least we have a common denominator to work with, and 4 plus another 2 will equal 6, and we'll keep our denominator of 7. Uh-oh, now we've got 9ths and we've got half and half. Well, wait a minute. If I have half and then I have another half, don't I have 1? So I have a whole 1 here. And what do I need to make it equal 1 on this side? Well, I think 4 plus another 5 will equal 9, and then I will have 9/9, and 9/9 is the same as 1. So 1 equals 1. That will work. This one, I've got thirds and I've got 6ths. So let's we got to think of some common denominators here. 1/3 and 1/3 together will equal 2/3. And then for my 2/3, I'm going to multiply that by 2/2. And I'm doing 2/2 again because I want it to have that common denominator of 6. And I know that 3 times 2 will equal 6. So if I go 2/2 here, 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4. So I need it to equal 4/6. 1/6 plus 5/6 will equal, uh-oh, what did I do? I did the wrong number. I want it to equal 4/6. So 1/6 plus 3/6 should equal 4/6. 3 plus 1 will equal that 4. All right, that's it. Thanks for working with me today.